Ah, c'est toi et moi. C'est toi et moi. Ha. Écoute, c'est toi et moi. C'est toi et moi. Et si tu savais, tu saurais que tu ne sais pas. Et si tu savais, tu saurais que tu ne sais pas. Moi je ne sais pas, donc je ne prétends pas que je sais. Attends une seconde, moi c'est Moulah et je me présente d'abord. Toi c'est qui? Ah, écoute. Hey, c'est toi et moi. On est là dans cette chambre, on parle de quoi? Je ne sais pas, mais on parle de quoi? On parle de quoi et on parle de ça, yeah? Yeah, c'est Mr. Moulah. Je suis là et je fais ce que je veux. Y'en a rien à cirer de ce que tu penses. Ce beat il est bon, il est con. Et comme s'il est bon et con, moi je le prends, je le mange. Et puis je le mange, je l'avale. Je l'avale et je le digère.
Microphone checker. Mic checker. Yes. We checking up the microphone, we checking up the food, we checking up my man right here already.
Man.
Hold on. Before we even do the introduction, you know what I'm saying? King Moulah, I should say. Chef Moulah put it down. And you already know who we have here today. Spanky himself, the one and only, Hayes.
What's happening?
Hey. So I made him some jollof rice, the chebujan from Senegal. So it's jollof rice with the fish, cabbage, carrot, sweet potatoes, yam, eggplant, and okra. And some fatay on the side.
Bussin'.
Yeah? Let me get this microphone. Here we go. We had to get the mic out of the way because, you know.
Bussin'.
How you doing today, my man?
Man, don't matter how I was doing. After eating this, man, I feel great, man.
Wonderful.
This is get somebody pregnant food, right?
Hey, man, you know, I love cooking and I love feeding and seeing the reaction. You know, when people eat the food I made and I see this reaction, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know. So before we start, thanks again. Welcome to Kings and Queens Talk Podcast. I am your host, King Moulah. And once again, today we are about to have a great episode. I'm here with my boy, my man, Spanky Hayes. You already know. Ooh. Yeah. If you don't know, you better go look it up.
you better go look it up.
There's no shame.
I'm Googleable.
Yeah, he's Googleable. I like that, Googleable. Yeah, so what do you think about the food? Like, was this your first time having Senegalese food like this?
Man, I want to say yeah.
Yeah?
But it's awesome, man. I love it, man. It's great. I haven't put my spoon down.
Yes, absolutely. Well, shout out to DB Rapid. That's the food truck we have going on in Houston, Texas. Okay. If you're in the area, go check it out. DB Rapid, you probably see it down there. It's the only sponsor I have. And yes, we put down the food, you know. We put it down. You want to feed your soul, go ahead and check it out. So, yes, Spanky's enjoying their food. So, who is Spanky Hayes and where do you want to start your story? Like, just tell us about you. What is your story?
Well, wow. My story is a long fucking story. But my name is Carlos Hayes. Carlos Pablo Hayes. And I'm the only child. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out, Mom.
Sorry about chewing this. It's so good though.
Hey, you gotta hear it's crisp. You gotta hear the crispiness. It's so good.
So like them Asian girls when they be eating all.
That's right.
I love it. But I'm just I'm a lot of shit, man. I'm a lot of things.
So where are you from? Where were you born? Like, let's start there.
I was born in Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, shout out.
Yeah, shout out Detroit, Michigan. And then I started spending a lot of time in New York, Harlem, and shout out to Harlem. Shout out to all New York.
All New York.
New York is the shit.
Bronx, Brooklyn.
Everywhere.
That's right. New York is the
Queens.
Shit.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Then I moved to LA when I was like about 18, 19, 20, somewhere in there. And I never left.
You never left LA. Like, what made you move? Like at 19, 18? Like, was it something that you always wanted to do, or it just happened? Like, what led you to moving?
I wanted to be a rock star, man. Like, I didn't care about doing nothing else but being a movie star, being a rock star.
And that you did. Be a rock star. Yep.
Yeah, you know, just, that's it.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel like I could do it in Detroit.
Okay.
And then I felt like the crowd I was hanging around in New York was a little bit too like raw.
Okay.
So you know, so when I went to LA, I was surrounded by like a whole like gangster shit. So that let me know I didn't really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what really pushed me to do comedy, because that's what saved me from like getting into a lot of fights, you know, or getting into a lot. I would like talk about a motherfucker or
and just laugh
snap
about
or
it, make fun of him.
Right, the hardest dude in the world be like, you funny.
I mean, you know, that's true. If somebody's just coming at you with words and you come at them with, you know, with fist fights, they really got your feelings. So that's why it's like, you know, what you gonna do?
Exactly. So, you know, that's it then, you know, meeting people. And my best advice, I know you didn't ask me that, but best advice in Hollywood or show business or anything, life is the people you know. It's like your relationships. Your relationships is the most important thing in life.
Yes.
You know, who you know and who know who
is more important than what you have.
Right, it's way more than
absolutely.
Yeah.
And yes, and we giving out advice. You know, if you want to give any advice, anything, that's what this show is for. We sharing, and we appreciate you. You know, just giving that advice because you lived it. You have experience that some of us don't have, and you know, some of us just wonder, like, I want to go pursue my dream, but you know, I'm scared. I'm scared to go. Like some of us like don't know what to do. Some of us like might see the road, but afraid to take the first step. So, you know, like it's important to, you know, get up and go pursue your dream, but have a plan. Don't just get up and leave, because there's always people who, you know, end up homeless or not being able to succeed in that quest. So just be prepared. So from Detroit to California, so that was a big change, I suppose.
Hell yeah.
What did you like the most, you know, on like from the transition?
The weather, and the girls.
Okay, the weather, the girls, and the smoke. Those are my three favorite things in Cali. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes. No disrespect to any woman around the world, but you know.
Yeah. And there's something about California.
Yes,
there's something about California.
Something about it.
Yeah, it's the city of angels. So now in California, when you came, did you already have something going on? Or did you just come like, I'm just gonna go there and see how it goes? Or was you coming as, you know, in an addition? Or did you already know what places or what club or who you're gonna go link up with? Did you come with a plan, or how did that unfold?
I didn't have like a plan, but I knew that I was determined. And I was like, I had a lot of times I could, you know, like I was young, so I was like, well, I could dedicate this much time to it. And if it don't happen like this, then maybe I'll look at something within it so that I ain't waste that time. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing was just wasting time. If I'm gonna be like poor, starving artist, motherfucker, then the time gotta amount to something.
Absolutely. So how much time did it take for you to, you know, accomplish, I would say, to get your first gig, or you feel like, okay, I put, like, this is paying off now? Like, how much time did you put in from the time you moved to Cali?
Well, it was quick, actually. I had some experience, but not like, you know, a lot of experience. But, you know, I knew I was funny.
Yeah.
And then I knew I was new. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes that helps you out too when you knew.
When you knew it's fresh blood.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That's
so, yeah, so I think that's what it was. So then I started doing Moesha, like just in the background, like extra work.
Was that your first thing, your first gig per se?
Yeah, because I had looked like maybe 3 weeks later, and it was on TV. And I could see myself on
TV. Like,
so I was like, oh shit! Like, okay, it's something to this.
That's right. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, okay. And I had a Detroit jersey, Barry Sanders jersey on, so that made people look like people from my city, like
representing already.
Right, like, wait a minute, who would have a jersey on like that
on TV?
Oh, that's Spanky, crazy. So, excuse me. So, after that, I kept doing comedy, stand-up comedy, which is the hardest job in the world. I don't care what nobody say. I will debate that with any profession.
I believe that
on this God breathes earth.
I believe that. I think I'm pretty funny, but I would never get on stage and grab a mic. That's so like to me. It takes courage. Yeah, I'm an artist. I get up there and perform a song, but that's a song I've recorded it, rehearsed. So even though you rehearse,
see, I have problems with that doing rehearsed. Like I can't.
No, as a comedian, even if you do the rehearsal, it's like the reaction of the crowd is really what, like that feeds into it a lot. Like the music is the music no matter what. Like the hook is always gonna be the hook. As a comedian, even if you rehearsed it, you might be into your set and then you see certain things that now you flip. Maybe you was gonna say something later, now you can say it now. It's like you still have some type of freedom. I can never change the hook from the verse and flip it around because I feel like, damn, I want to bring the hook in quickly now.
Right.
Because people feeling the hook,
Right.
But okay, that's pretty cool. So you did your first gig, and then after that, you kept doing that? Was that like a continuous thing?
Like, stand up, yeah.
No, not the stand up, the TV thing.
Okay, yeah. So I was doing like movies, couple movies, background. And then I felt like I did Players Club in the background.
Okay.
And I'll have to show you like, look right there.
That's
then you be like, damn, and I'm all over that motherfucker.
Okay.
So like a couple little movies.
So what was your first big gig?
The first big gig, like stand up or like
in anything, like after you've been grinding and like your first this is my first big gig, either a big check or big gig. You know what I mean? Like the first thing that you felt like this is next level for me.
Probably Wildin' Out.
Wildin' Out. And how did that come about? When did that happen and how?
Like me and Nick, we used to do like stand up together and kick it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And then I had this group that was called The Other Level. We did like improv games and stuff like that. So, then Nick got a deal and then kind of did the show that we was doing, but he included me, which is, I couldn't really be mad. And the other members was kind of mad.
But why were they mad? Why were they mad? Like, it's like...
Because it was kind of like their idea, too.
Okay, but when the deal came and he included, did he just include you or everybody else? Like,
no, just me.
Just you, but he didn't include the other ones.
No.
So they got mad.
I would have got mad too if he...
Yeah, I understand, because it's like we all started something and then a deal came along and it's like you and just him, and what about the rest of us? So I understand that feeling. I'm an artist too, so that's why I just try to get to the bottom of it. Like, it happens, we human beings, we brothers, and when we do things, deals, like, sometimes deals come, it's like, hey, we just want you, or we just want two of you, or, it could be some other things behind it too. So it's good to hear the side of the story. So, okay, so basically, you started off like that, he included you, and then you was... that MTV one at that time?
Yeah, MTV, just regular MTV. Yep, the second black, all black cast.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The first one was Yo MTV Raps, and then it was Wildin' Out.
What year did it start? What was the first year?
I think it was like
seasons.
It was like 2005.
2005. 2005.
Yeah.
And
it was a minute.
And it stayed on for a minute too.
It's still on.
I mean, it's still on. That's what I'm saying. For
I think it's on VH1.
It's on VH1 now.
Man, that fool got me like, wow.
I'm telling you. And look, I can make this infused, but it's not even infused right now. This is just the regular. When I make it infused, then it's a whole different story.
Yeah, I'm sleepy already. So you ain't gotta do
the
that.
food is good. I'll make sure you get some to go, because
please.
We go. This when I cook, I make. You see how much I made. You see how you watch me cook it too. So you see how much I made. because I like to eat this for 2-3 days. My kids love it. My friends love it. I'll have at least 5, 7, 8 friends pull up between now and tomorrow to get a plate. So it's a blessing, and I try to explain to my children that most people who try this food try it for the first time. They never had this food their whole life. So it's a blessing that you can make it at 15 and you can feed someone to make them try something from a different culture that, and it's a great, I think food is a great bridge, for cultures.
Breaking bread.
Breaking bread, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
That's what that was.
So yes, you here with us at the Kings and Queens Talk Podcast. We are here with Spanky, just talking it up, just getting back into memory land on how things went. Maybe you can take some from this. You might be a starving artist, comedian, or whatever, but that's what we do. We share cultures, we share stories, and maybe you can get something from it.
Hey, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Okay, so being from Africa, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you see all on TV, mm-hmm. All the betrayal
mm-hmm.
of how they betray
mm-hmm.
Africans.
Mm-hmm.
Comedians,
mm-hmm.
Motherfucker,
mm-hmm.
you stinky African booty scratcher,
mm-hmm.
All the jokes, all the African jokes.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that?
Like for me, it's entertainment, right? And then also I didn't grow up here. So I came here, I was 23 years old.
Right.
I came here in 2001. So for some of my friends who came here at a younger age, when they were 7, 8, and they had to go to high school here, it's a lot more deeper for them because they had to experience it and live it.
Right.
I didn't really live it. I just seen it from a distance. When I came here, I was 23 years old.
Right.
And I was already a man, so no one really ever called me that, or so I never really experienced it. When I see it on TV, I always look at it like it's funny because it's comedy. When a comedian makes fun of a certain group, I always look at it as comedy. Because I learned English from BET. I came here in 2001 and I was in New York City. Hot 97, Power 105, and BET taught me English, literally. Every day at 10 o'clock there was Comic View on BET, and I would sit there and watch it. And it took me a good 2 years before I started laughing because even though I started understanding English, I didn't see the irony in whatever you guys were saying at first. It took me a minute because a lot of the jokes are cultural. You have to be in the area to kind of understand.
Right.
So once I started understanding, shit was funny to me. Like shit was just funny. And I'm an artist myself. I'm a rapper, so I can write things that I've never lived. And I feel like an artist should be able to do that. I should be able to write about pregnancy. I don't ever have to go through pregnancy to be able to write about it as an artist. So So that, to answer your question, for me, I look at it as it's funny. If somebody does it directed to someone, it's bullying. But when it's comedy, when it's on TV, it's just an art. Even when I see it in movies, I think there was in Rush Hour when what is his name? The actor Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker. He liked to make some African jokes and African accents sometimes in the movies. It'd be funny. But the one thing I don't like is Hollywood. When they need an actor with an African accent, why don't they just go hire an African? I don't understand that. I have an accent naturally. I don't have to fake the accent. But when I see great American actors, but they playing a role that is either a Jamaican or an African role, but then it's enough of us here that can play the role, You don't have to go get the other person who don't have that accent, who will have to fake it. So I don't get that part, and I only see that in Hollywood. I would see them. It's like, man, you portraying an African king or African something, but they are African actors.
Right.
So just go pick one of them,
Right.
So I think that makes more sense. That's the one thing that I'm like, this don't make sense. We all know he's American. We all know that's not how he sounds. He's acting it out. But if someone like me was to play the same role, it would make more sense because that's just how I sound naturally. When I do my interviews, I don't have to fake the accent, or be a different accent. But yeah, that's one thing I don't get.
And then I guess my other question to you would be like how do you feel about like how everything is so fucking African now, like Afro Puta beats. Hey, that's my man, Lil June. Shout out Lil June. The music is popping out. Everything is African. Beyonce did a whole album.
Well, for the Lion King.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything is African. So how does that feel to be able to?
It feels good. It feels good because the culture is being shared. It's coming across now. Before this, the conception, the only idea of people had about African was, people starving, poor countries, people didn't even know our music. So now the music is here. Because the music and the food are the first two things that are going to make people ask themselves like, oh, this is not what I thought of Africa. Now let me go actually look it up. So I feel like somebody might eat this, like, hold on, they eat this every day? Like, hold on, let me go check out that country, actually. And then because of that, you might go Google Senegal. Right. So like now, the food and the music, so now you have Nigerians. Nigerians are the one who are the leaders of this movement, I would say, because 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it wasn't like this. But when the music popped and the Davidos and the Burna Boys, they blew up in England first. They blew up in UK. UK is like way bigger in Afro than here. Here is just getting here. Like sometimes when I hear some of the music in the radio, it's old. Some of the music is 2 years old, but they playing it like it's new. It just dropped. Like also radio stations, you need to hire African DJs if you want to incorporate this Afro into your daily music, because you play some outdated music sometimes, and sometimes it's like the blend is like the song you playing. It has energy to it. It's not going with whatever else you're playing. Right. So, it's important. If you want to really embrace this culture, let's do it the right way. There's African DJs everywhere, So that, that is great, like the fact that the music is being shared, but because of that, it's creating a dialogue. Now people are more curious about Africa. Because before, all you had about Africa was bad information that you got from these books or these schools. So now at least there is a different platform. We can do our own podcast. We can educate our own people. I can sit here. I lived in Africa for 23 years of my life, and I lived in America for 20 years of my life. So we can sit here and okay, let's talk, let's compare. There's lots of questions that this is your story, but let's talk about some of the questions we can answer. Because
that's dope.
It's vice versa. Because people in Africa that never been here, they also have questions. So by you sitting there and answering some of these and telling them how your journey went, it puts certain things in perspective for them. They understand that, it's not all just roses over here, because some people in Africa think that money grow on trees over here. They can never understand me telling them I'm broke or I'm struggling.
Where y'all at.
Yeah.
Let's switch. Y'all want to switch?
Exactly. So this is the matrix. Once you come in here, it's hard to get out. When you're not here, just try to, come in the right way. If you coming in some businesses, but it's like I've been slave here for 20 years, voluntary slavery. And that's all you'll be doing if you come over here without a plan. So
slave my whole life. Absolutely. But I have fun
doing it. That's right. It's different. I'd rather this slavery than the one where you get whooped and you know what I mean. This one is it's voluntary. It's a little voluntary, but the system is set up already. So
I was getting whooped, but just financially. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We just talk about some things we was talking about earlier in the kitchen. By the way, I had to go back to this food is fucking amazing, man.
Thank you.
This dude, man. You're crazy with this shit.
Yeah,
So, but man, it's about fame. You can either choose fame or money. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like to tell people. Mm-hmm. If they ask me for advice, what's better or what it is. And basically, I didn't make no money when I was famous.
Wow.
I mean,
you hear that? No money when he was famous. That's a concept that's hard to grasp. But think about it for a second. He enjoyed fame without money. Right.
Mm-hmm. And then when I stopped wanting to be famous or didn't care about being famous, that's when I started making money.
Exactly.
And I was like, damn, because I'm gonna always be famous. That's what if you put in the work and you do some good work, and you're gonna always be famous. People gonna always remember that. And the way that the internet is now and YouTube and
That's true.
such things, you're going to always be out there. It's out there. Whatever you did is out there.
That's true.
It's already out there.
That's true.
So it's like...
But you think it's a choice, though? Is it like, how hard is it to be rich and famous? That's the question.
I think you got to probably suck the devil's dick
You hear that?
to be both of those.
Because it's difficult.
Yeah.
Most people that are famous are not rich. And most people that
Michael
are rich
Jackson was maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe, but they always say that he was broke too.
Yeah, people always said that, but he was like, you know, I don't know, like
I
when
think
you look at
regular
his,
people.
yeah, when you look at his life, like they probably comparing like, okay, he had 100 millions, now he got 10 millions, that kind of broke, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he went from 100 to 10, like, you know.
He had a lot of relationships. That dude was cool. I hung out with him for a little while.
Now that dude was, I never met him, you know, but in Africa, growing up in Africa, I'm going to tell you the influence he had on us. You know, he changed the world. He didn't just change music. He didn't just change the industry or do something.
Right.
He changed the world. He showed us like how amazing it was to just like be yourself, dancing. You know, Africans, we already love dancing already.
He took a lot of the dancing from Africa.
Yes, and he just showed us how we wasn't even mad. We're not mad about that. Like, you know, like...
No, I know what you mean.
There's another thing going
the
on
technique.
too. The technique. You know,
from Africa.
You know, the reason I say that too is
I
because...
had to do all
you
that.
know, yeah, like the technique. Thinking man. Here's the African thinking man. And the wise man, you see, he has a soul box like me. It's the soul box. I'll get you one of these. It's a soul box. It's really it's made out of leather. You can see a bigger one out there.
Oh.
So people, especially ladies, like to use it as a purse because it opens up. You can slide it up, and I leave it empty because I named it the soul box.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start, you know, selling this soon. And I had this specific one for like 6 years now. Even changed colors. So my thing is that we all have a soul, right?
Oh yeah.
So
hopefully.
Well, even people don't. If you call somebody soulless, that's when they, you know, that's when they are like, what do you mean soulless? You know, people have a soul, right? So basically, if you acknowledge your soul, right, and you take your soul and you give it a home, you know, your soul, be grateful. Right. You know, like that's what meditation does. Like people meditate, people pray, people do spiritual things because the soul is not a physical thing. So a physical thing cannot feed it. You need a spiritual thing. So meditation.
That's dope, man. This dope right here.
This right here.
I keep looking at the colors like, man, what is that?
It's a ice cream cone with Freddy.
That's dope, bro.
Yes, this is my what you call it, my Halloween. It was my Halloween jeans. You know?
Oh yeah, look, that's sweet, man. I'm just looking like, what the fuck?
Yeah, thank you. You know.
No, but I hear you though.
The soul box. Yeah, I'll get you one. It's just like a concept, and once you use it as a soul, you can use this as a purse, and it will just be that. But if you use it as a soul box, then it will be that.
Yeah,
you know, pretty much.
You know.
But okay, yes.
Those kind of purses are in men purses.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you can.
Do they rock those in Africa?
Yeah, like
man bags.
Somewhat, not really. Like really bags, you know, like ladies wear bags. We wear book bags. Like now they have like those you know those bags that's going on the side, but not the small one. Like really, it would be big enough. Right. You know, it'll be big enough. It'll be like a duffel bag, or it'll be like I have one like a little smaller bag where I keep my weed stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So now let me ask you. Wild 'N Out is going on, you know. Everything is cool. You're famous, but you're not rich, you know. But you're famous. You're enjoying life.
At that time, okay. So at the Wild 'N Out time, I was like becoming
rich,
but I started learning the business, and then I was like, well, I could be a lot more richer than this.
Okay.
Oh, I see the shortcuts. And then, So, but once you know that,
Okay.
They don't want to fuck with you. But I don't want to stop you either. But during Wildin' Out, we all were comfortable. As fuck.
Okay. So now,
in the beginning.
Yeah, that's that because that show was the shit. That show, like everybody's watching that shit all the way to China, Africa. Everybody know that shit. You know what I mean? So you know, it's funny. Like it's like the concept of it was new. It's like until this day, I don't think there's any other show like it. Like really, you know, the idea. Whoever, shout out to all of you who came out with the idea, whether you got credit or not, whether your name is on the door or not, because the show was just amazing, comedy wise. You know, it's just like it is amazing. It's like the idea itself, like. You know, the little segments, it's entertaining as fuck. That's all I can say. You know what I mean?
Right.
And okay, so what other work did you do? Like besides Wildin' Out, did you do any other thing like that's big movies? Or?
Movies. I did a few movies, man. I got a couple movies that's coming out right now.
Yeah.
You know, I went to the underground scene of movies because I had retired for a minute for like 6 years. So when I came back, I started watching. Like when I was trying to be regular, I guess, I was watching a lot of films. Like, okay, well, where are the films going right now? So I'm looking and saying, okay, the underground shit is kind of dope. So let me go down there, and then so I hooked up with a lot of my homies from Detroit. But Ashe Khan is one guy, director, and then me and him directed my first film that I directed. So it's like we did a lot of those. And a whole bunch of those are on Tubi. So that's on every smart TV. Just go to Tubi and you'll find so many films that I'm in. Nice. And then a new one just came out, To Finesse with Zaytoven.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying? I was just getting.
Hey man, I want to get into the movie industry. I think I'll make a good actor. You know, like some people tell me I look like what's his name? The blood diamond guy. The blood diamond guy, I get that a lot. I'm like, you know what?
This is my island now.
This is my island now. This is my audition. Hollywood, you need me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Well, we're gonna do some shit, man. I had we was talking about films earlier, man. I had wrote a film like years ago, like 20 years ago almost. It's called Back to Africa.
Okay.
And it's about a guy who hits the lottery, a black couple, and they say, man, fuck that, we so rich, I'm moving back to Africa.
Okay.
And when they get there, it's
different.
Very different.
Very. We can do that because I'm about to go to Africa in like 2 months, like February. I'm about to go to Africa. So if we set that up, let's just go shoot some scenes there in Senegal. Really.
Let's go. Make
it for real. Like,
man, I'm ready to go.
All right, let's make it happen because, you know, like going is important, even just to visit. You know, just go and visit because nobody, no matter what someone can tell you, no matter what I can tell you, there's nothing that's going to be better for you than to go and experience it. Because you might learn something that you can only learn by being there, you know, but it's a great experience. I came to America at 23 in 2001. It was like one of the best experiences of my life, having to leave a continent and come to a whole other continent and meet with a whole other group of people, learn a whole different language, you know. It wasn't amazing. It's like, to me, when I sum my life, I would say that was the most amazing experience of my life to this point. Right. Me leaving a whole, you know, and I haven't been back. It's been 20 years. So America kind of just stole me, you know what I mean? For real.
And you know, Detroit is a lot like that because in Detroit, you go over this bridge and you're in Canada.
Yeah.
Canada is like 30 minutes away.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like as soon as you get, you could be 17 in the club there, 18, I think, something like that. Yeah. So as soon as you that age, you go straight to Canada if you're in Detroit. Wow. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah. Travel if you can, you know, go to different countries. Even if you can go to Mexico, go to Mexico. You know, it's not even a hassle.
Tijuana.
Yeah, it's not even a hassle. Go to Mexico. Shout out to my friend, my Mexican friend, Danny. Danny just turned 21. It was his birthday last week. Happy birthday, my brother.
Happy birthday,
by the time you see this, you'll be almost. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Shout out to Cuba.
That's what's up. So films is what you're doing now. You know.
I just did one with Wesley Snipes.
Oh, okay.
And Tiffany Haddish and Kevin Hart and Man, there's so many other people, man. Faison Love and Gary Owens and Bill Bellamy and Jebby Smooth.
You did some with Passenger 57. I remember that. That's every African knows that movie. You say Wesley Sapp, they don't think The Blade because that was before The Blade. Passenger 57, that was the movie. Like, that was one of my favorite movies for the longest. It's like, you know, it was just like this passenger and then they try to hijack the plane. Yeah, go check it out. Old school.
Oh, yeah, old school.
Old school movie.
Old school. Old school.
Yeah. That's what's up. But yeah, so you know, we out here in Vegas, and we're doing what we're doing. My man Spanky out here doing his films, movies, moves, like moves and movies.
And it's more than that, more than what I even explained.
We're gonna go to Africa. Yeah. You know, we can't say everything. You just gotta stay tuned, and you know, you're gonna find out. You know,
we're shooting in Africa.
Absolutely.
Senegal. Here we come.
So, what are your expectations? Have you ever been to Africa?
I have been to Morocco. And I've been to Nigeria, and I've been to, I don't know if that counts, but Dubai. Does that count? Does that count?
No, it's in Dubai. It's in like Saudi Arabia.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But I was just trying to go that way.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Morocco, I think so. And Nigeria is close. I'm from Mauritania, so Mauritania is north of Senegal, and then Morocco is north of Mauritania, so it's right there. So right south of Morocco, you have Mauritania, and then you got Senegal. Now Nigeria is close to Senegal and Mauritania as well. So you was right there in West Africa.
That's crazy.
Right there, like right there in the neighborhood. Now I have to take you to Senegal because Senegal is different, bro. Senegal have this hospitality. It's a different type of hospitality, you know, and I'm from Mauritania, but Senegal have a better hospitality. I'm unbiased. I'm just gonna be honest, you know, because my Mauritanian friends be mad sometimes when I say, well, why don't you say Mauritania? Because Mauritania have racism going on over there sometimes. That's why.
It's like America.
Yeah. So Senegal, yeah, you know, they might have their own bullshit, but it's chill. It's good. Life is good there if you have money. You know, Mauritania, even if you have money, you know what I mean?
They try
if
to
you're black, you know, but that's a different subject.
Right, that's Detroit too.
Yeah, so, you know, like, it's good to do your research. It's good to know about Africa, even if you've never been. Like, you know, just look up a country. Ghana is pretty nice. Rwanda is pretty cool right now. Yeah, Ghana is cool. You know, like, even people moving there, you know, with the internet now, you can go and find how people living in Africa. People will tell you their good and bad experiences. So you just don't believe that everything is all nice and all that. No, I'm not here to sell you a dream, but it will be good for your soul for you to go and visit. And you know, if something.
Let me ask you this though. What? Okay, so out of the cities and states you've been in America, what would you say Africa's like? Like what would you kind of compare it to?
Nowhere here, like nothing here is close. I never been down south. I hear that down south is a lot like Africa, like Mississippi. I hear that, but I never been there. I lived in New York for 7 years, and then I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio for about 8 years. I've been here for 4 years now. So nothing is like Africa. Like life is completely different. Like the choices are different. Like in Senegal, in Dakar, in the capital city of Senegal, like you will not go a month or two without electricity like being shut off for the whole neighborhood. Like every week there'll be no electricity. Sometimes it goes on for a day or two. You never experience that in America, no matter where you're at. Now there are certain things that you know, like you watch TV, there's like maybe now it's 2-3 channels or maybe 4. You know, in here you got hundreds. It's not even the same. Like I grew up with one. There was one channel. There was a time for news, time for cartoons, time for movies, time for sport, time for, you know, but one channel. You know, like that. It's not the same. You know, it's not the same. So
it's not the same.
Yeah. So like when you ask me, like nowhere here, like it's not even the same. It's not even close. The realities are completely different. Not to say one is better than the other. It's like shit. I'd rather go home and like home is home. I miss it. You know, but I'm here. I'm on a mission. You know, I'm here to accomplish something that I feel like I can accomplish here faster or better than if I was anywhere else, because this is America at the end of the day, you know? No matter what the bullshit, it's one of the best countries in the world when it comes to opportunities. You just have to know how to move and understand, you know, what this country is. Once you do, you're not even gonna complain, you know? Because America is a business. And it's all the rules and all the laws are designed to benefit businesses. So if you want to be good in America, become a business. That's my advice to you. You're already a business, so just learn how to. You know, I'm African, and I figured it out.
That's a beautiful way to put that.
You know, I figured it out here. Yeah, and I figured it out. I'm not even from here. They gave me a social security number in 2003. Okay, I was 24 years old at that time. You see, so. And I figured it out. So if I can figure it out, not even being from here, like you can figure it out. You know, like become a business and see how all these laws, you're gonna understand that every law is made to benefit businesses, because businesses also help America stay number one in the world. You know, with all the taxes and everything. So you know, like you wanna be a player in America, pay taxes. And you'll be treated differently. Like pay taxes. Like if you pay taxes, you looked at differently, and that's because you participating, you contributing. Right. So you know, we can complain or we can figure it out. Let's try to figure it out, and then let's try to figure out how to get out of here together. You know, that's why the Exodus Project is going to come into play. That's my nonprofit organization that I'm working on, and the goal is simply to take us all back home. Eventually, one day, it'll take 10, maybe 20 years, but if we get together, we can go back collectively. And I'm not talking about Senegal or Mauritania. We're gonna pick the best country in Africa and go. You know, that's the goal.
Now, when you say go, you mean go to like forever?
I mean, go and stay. You can come back and visit. It's never forever. It's like, you know, when you go, once you leave here, right, as an American, right, this is what's gonna happen. Your social security number is not relevant anymore. All right. Now you go over there, you start fresh. Like if we go as a community, let's say 1,000 of us go and we decide to build a community with our kids and everything. We pick a country. It could be Rwanda. If it was today, I would have picked Rwanda, for example, because the infrastructure there would allow us to grow our community. You know, raise our own children, educate them, decide for ourselves. You know what we want. So now, if it's 1,000 of us and we're going, you're not gonna lose your American citizenship. You're always going to have that passport, which is going to allow you to always come back, visit, you can travel, the world or whatever. But now you're starting fresh in here with your family, and now you're growing. So now this is your new identity. Your social security isn't going to matter because it only matters here in America. You know, your credit score, none of that is going to matter in Africa. Right. You know, so that's why it's a fresh start. Now, if there is lots of social injustices that is going on here for hundreds of years, and it's not changing.
It never will change.
Maybe the solution is to get the fuck out of here. Honestly, you know, like I've been here 20 years, but I don't care if I've been here 200 years. This is not home. You know, that's the illusion. You know, just because, you know, the slavery, this is actually the crime scene, if you ask me. This is where slavery happened. None of us should want to stay here forever.
Natchez, Mississippi.
Yeah, and it's like the whole country. It's like, imagine this is prison, and we've been in jail, and then it's time to go home, but somebody is so, you know, like, they're not mentally ready to go out, they decide to stay in jail. And then the jail people, the officers, they allow him to stay there and give him an apartment there. And he brings his wife and his family there. Now he's dead, his kids have kids, now 400 years passed, right? Now his great-great-grandkids want to have the same rights as the CEOs in that same jail. It's never going to happen. That's the same analogy, that's the best analogy I can give here. And I know that, you know, like, we have to do something, but I also know that the situation is so deep that we're going to need divine help. Because the only group I can compare the African American to is the Egyptian slaves, the slaves of Egypt in the time of Moses. There were slaves there for about 400 years. And then it took divine intervention for them to get out. You know, God even opened up a sea for them to leave. He could have just, you know, like, no, this is your land now, you can just take that land. But that's an example, that should be an example for us. Because those slaves were there for 400 years. When it was time for freedom, they had to leave that land. And that's the illusion. Now, African Americans, you know, feel like the land is attached to them. Like, oh, I can just leave my country. What about my Indian roots? What about this and that? Just choose your black side. You know, that's the solution.
That's it.
But yeah. But anyway, sometimes the conversation get political, racial. But hey, you know,
it's okay.
It's educational at the end of the day. We don't here to offend. We here. But you know, people get offended when you talk about religion, when you talk about race, when you talk about certain things. People are touchy, touchy. You know.
Right. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So African, okay, being from Africa, right? I'm from America. You know, slaves were in Cuba also. You know what I'm saying? Castro casted a lot of them to America. A lot of older ones, a lot of darker ones. That's how my grandmother, my uncle, got, you know, came to America.
So you have Cuban in your...
Yeah. So I went to Cuba to see, you know, what I'm gonna identify with, kind of. So not a lot, but I did learn this: my taste of women. Like, okay, that's why I like women like that. Okay, that's why. Okay. Oh.
Now this makes sense.
Okay, that's why I like bright colors like that. Okay. Yes. I was getting that. But when you go back to Africa, like right now, what are you going to go back to first that identifies you, or that you feel like this is me? Like for instance, this bomb ass meal, I gotta say it again, that you cook. Okay, so if I lived in Africa, I would say I'm going to get some of this. Either one of these things.
Yes.
So what is it that makes you tired? But let me just say this one last thing about Detroit. In Detroit, it's chips called Buttermilk Hops. I don't feel like I'm there.
Yes.
Unless
like
I have that.
Cincinnati have grippos.
Okay.
You know, it's like Cincinnati have grippos. It's only in Cincinnati and whatever. I'm somewhere. You in Cincinnati? Bring me some grippos. And when they come to Cincinnati, that's what they want to have. Yes. For Africa, it's going to be the land itself. As soon as you land, it's like I'm home. It's completely different. Like from the land, like you're gonna land and get off the stairs and walk on the ground and go. You know, it's different. It's like you land and you don't even see outside. Yeah. It's all in the tunnel until you're in the airport and you go out, you know. Over there, it's completely different. You're going to be able to kiss the ground as soon as you get off the airport. The people are going to look different, you know. Like, the people are going to look different. There's my skin tone, even though I'm from Africa, because I haven't been there so long, when I go there, we look a little different. When they look at me, they'll be able to tell I just got back, just by looking at me. When I look at them, I'll be able to tell they've been here, you know. It's like, everything is different. The air, everything is different, man. Like, for me, because I know it, like, I've been here 20 years, right? And one thing that is striking is fruits and vegetables. You know, fruits and vegetables don't taste the same. They don't taste at all. Like, I feel like all these fruits and vegetables here in America was engineered to make your brain know that this is an orange you're eating, but it doesn't give you the full spectrum of what the orange should taste like. When I eat a banana, I know I'm eating a banana, but because I had a banana.
Tastes so plain.
Yeah, it's plain. It's just, I know it's a banana. My brain is telling me it's a banana, but because I had banana my whole life, like I loved bananas, right, when I was a kid. I'm like, no, it's not. Like mangoes, I haven't never tasted a good mango in America since I've been here. I tried everything from Whole Food to farmer's market. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the land. I don't know what it is. Sometimes they tell me this is farmer's market. It's grown naturally. I'm like, I don't know, but it don't taste the same to me. Like, you know, I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, fruits and vegetables been my biggest problem. Even today, I go to Spanish stores. I go to La Bonita. I go to Whole Foods sometimes, but just to get my fruits and vegetables. Because if you want to get the flavor of the cooking and all that, and my meat, I only buy my meat from the halal place.
Right.
You know, so
halal
is good for your health. So basically, you know, like when I go, and then As soon as you get there, everybody is cooking every day. You know why everybody's cooking every day? This is why America is the matrix, you know, because you see the schedule here is messed up. It's designed to divide families and people. You know, people go to work 9 to 5. That is crazy. When I first came to America and they told me, oh, you're going to work for 8 hours, you're going to stay on your feet. I told my friend, like, how is that possible? How can a human being stand on their feet for 8 hours? And they're like, you're going to have 3 breaks, 2 15 minutes and a 30. I'm like, that's still 7 hours. Like, what? How? Right. Yo, don't worry, you're gonna get used to it. Like, in my mind, it wasn't possible because where I'm from, we don't have that. You know, our schedule back home is in 8 to noon. Right. Everybody go home.
I heard this.
And then 3 to 6, 3 to 5, 3 to 6. You know, that's your host. That's everybody's schedule, school schedule and work schedule. You know why it's like that? It's like that because governments don't have enough resources to feed kids at school. We don't have cafeterias at school, and we never had. So all the kids have to get sent home. So you got to send the parents home too, go feed your kids, and then parents go back to. And you know that allowed us to have family time. You know, you have lunch, breakfast, dinner with your family every day.
Wow.
Every day. That is when I say it's completely different, bro. It's different over here. That's why so many women are on welfare, because welfare don't promote the woman being with the men. As soon as you with your baby daddy, they cut all the help. So now what you gonna do? People need to eat. So, you know, sometimes you have 2, 3 baby daddies. One of them is a deadbeat. The other one you really want to be with. But, you know, and now you got to cut all of them up. All the government ain't helping. You know, it's like the system is really designed a certain way. And it's not easy to see. But it's there. True. And it's not designed to do this. It's designed to separate. Slowly. Even the school system, my kids were born here. Both my kids were born in New York. I raised them, but I started homeschooling them last year because the year before they did a distance school. But before that, I always thought about homeschooling them because when they started going to school here, I realized that American school are not there to educate kids. They know to train your kids to become workers. That's what schools are for. Yeah. So yeah, we send our kids to school, but make sure you do the rest of their education. Don't just think school is educating. That's another mistake parents make. Yeah. When your kids are old enough to go to school, I told my kids, because I have books like this that teaches me like real history, right? So I have books like this, like when the world was black, right? They don't teach you this at school, and I'm not gonna wait until my kid is old for him to discover this book on his own, right? So I'll tell him things about this, and I tell my kids, hey, if I tell you A and you go to school and they tell you B, you take A every time. I don't care what it is. Right. So that's part of being a parent, part of your job, you know, on how you educate your kids and how you make sure they get the right information. You know, like my daughter, I had a podcast with her. You know, that was episode where I had a podcast with her. Man, it was awesome. She's only 15, but she sat right there. We had a great hour conversation. I learned some things about what I've been doing and how I've been doing, what I've been doing wrong, what I've been doing right, and it was great. I'll do the same thing with my son too, you know, upcoming episodes. But those are things that, you know, I think are important. So, you know, like the school system is good. I'm not saying don't send your kids to school. I'm saying it's not enough. I'm saying send them to school and do the rest.
College is not enough.
Yeah.
All that is a daycare.
Yes. Every school, like from elementary all the way to the end of it, is just like assist. Because, you know, another thing too, right? America is one of the few countries, or the only country I know, right, that you can, like, when they ask you for a diploma, do you have a associate degree? It doesn't matter in what field. That was crazy to me. Like what is your? Nobody even talk about what did you grad? What was your major? Your major is in mathematics, and you're gonna be a psychologist because you have the degree. It don't even make no sense. They just use the degree as, okay, we can pay you X amount because you have the degree. In other countries, you cannot have an accounting degree and go become something else. You gonna be an accountant for the rest of your life, or go get another degree, you know?
That's it. Right.
But it's just like amazing how the system is designed. It's so fake, but it's real at the same time and fake. Right. You know, it's real, but
because
fake.
It costs money.
Yeah.
That's the realness.
Yes.
You could be anything you want if it costs money.
Absolutely. But anyways, we're having a discussion. Welcome again to Kings and Queens Talk Podcast. I'm here with my boy, Spanky Hayes, and we just been having a nice conversation about life in general.
That's it.
Okay? Ate some great food, smoked some good blunts, and still out here talking. And I want to say something. One of the reasons why sometimes I smoke on camera is because where I'm from, right, marijuana is so frowned upon. They look at it as if you smoke marijuana, you cannot resonate. You cannot have your mind. You know,
right.
you get high and you lose your. Now they looking at marijuana like crack. They think marijuana is crack for real, bro. They really think, bro. You know, I talked to my mother about it. Yeah, I smoke. I've been smoking. She was like, what? Oh my gosh, she started calling names and like you that's crazy. I said, what you mean? What, you know, I started educating her about it, and we had a great conversation. And then she didn't get it because I'm like, Mom, you've been telling me how great of a father I am, how good I've been doing. You see me, you know, I've been smoking for more than 20 years. Huh? How? That's impossible. Like, yeah, like that's because your conception of it is not real. This is a medicine. I started explaining to her how it's used to treat people with certain illnesses. You know, some people have eating disorders. They can't eat until they smoke. Some people have sleeping disorders. You know, me and you might be lucky enough to just lay our head down and go to sleep, but some people really have thoughts that bothers them. You know what I mean?
I know somebody who gets drunk got to drink like a whole damn fifth down there
to go to sleep. You know, and that's bad for their liver. The only side effect for this is you're gonna get high. That's pretty much it. And hungry. You're gonna eat bunches and
there was so much on this plate. Look, I'm even surprised I ate this one.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm glad. But hey, you know, like we're gonna show we've been on air for about an hour.
Man, it's been a whole hour.
It's been an hour, man. It feel like 20 minutes, but you know, nowadays people have short attention span. I don't want to keep them on for 2 or 3 hours, even though we have a lot to say. But we'll do this again.
I gotta come back.
Yeah, we'll come back. Next time you come back, I'll make you mafe. The reason why I'll make you mafe because I have my best friend. Shout out to Momo. You know, Momo Bali. He's over there running DB Rapid in Houston. That's my boy. And we had a little debate, a little conversation about what is top 5 Senegalese dishes. Bro, our food is so good that we debate about it. Like, what is top 5? So, Chebujan came number 1, Mafe came number 2. So I'll make you Mafe, and Mafe is his favorite too. For him, it's Mafe 1 and Chebujan 2. So I'll make you some Mafe next time you're here. Okay. For me too, I think Chebujan number 1, Mafe number 2. Supu Kanje is another one I like. Number 3. Yeah, that one is made with palm oil. You don't even cook that with regular oil. Palm oil. It has seafood. It has lamb, and like you can put crab legs. You can put like all that in there, and you make it with white rice. The rice is different than the jollof rice. But yeah, my sister Fifi, shout out to my other sister Fifi.
What's up, Fifi?
She's the specialist in Supu Kanje. When she makes one, oh Lord, I be traveling. I be going all the way to Dallas for hers. I be going to Dallas for my sister's Chebujan too. But yeah, hey, this food is worth traveling for, right?
Oh my
right?
God.
Now you know why
crazy.
I travel so much. Now you know why I'm always in Dallas.
That's crazy, man.
That's what's up.
My mother cooked the best chicken in the world. I don't eat chicken.
Yeah.
Because I ate it so much when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But my mama right now, mama, I battle anybody else, mama, is fried chicken.
Dude, shout out to mama. We want some of that chicken.
Oh, yeah,
you know? I want some of that chicken. Where's she in Detroit?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out. Whenever we in Detroit, blah, 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 bro, I'm in Detroit. I want to try that chicken.
Oh, yeah. She got you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, what else do you want to add to this before, you know, I just say goodbye to my audience and, you know, see them next time?
I'm just going to say shout out to Senegal and all the cities around. Shout out to the universe. Pimps up, holds down. Kanye for president.
Kanye for president. Yo, I like that move. We can be anything we want.
Fuck you, Kim Kardashian.
Oh.
You slutty whore for cheating on him.
Cheating is bad.
Cheating wears your soul down, and you can't wear a soul.
I'll get you a soul box, Kim.
Yeah,
I'll get you a soul box. This is what you need to restore your soul.
Smoke weed every day.
Every day.
And raise your kids.
The best way.
I guess that's it. Check out for my movies. I don't want to waste time telling the titles. I mean, just keep watching. You'll see.
Yeah,
you'll see.
And I'll get the links. I'll have him give me them links, and I'll make sure I put them down here. So nowadays you have to make it easy for them. I'll put all them links down there. All you have to do is click.
Netflix. You'll see me. Click. You got Netflix. Get Netflix.
Yeah, just type in Spanky Hayes. Come on now.
Come on.
You know what I mean?
Come on down.
He's talented. I was watching. Last night I went to YouTube and I was just watching some of your old shit. And I saw I saw that show when P Diddy was doing that bad boy comedy thing. That's back in the day. You know what I mean?
Man,
I was like, because I want to, like I know you're funny. I seen some of your material, but I wanted to see some of your other material. You know what I mean? Because that's how you really figure out who is funny. And this guy is funny. I'm telling you right now. This guy is funny.
And you know what's crazy about it? Shout out to P Diddy, first of all, and then. It was like 4 people who got booed before that.
Yeah.
So it was like, God. So I had to go kind of like,
yo, you
crazy.
did your thing. You came in, did your thing. Did your thing. And then some of the things you said this back in the day, you can't even say no more nowadays. You know what I mean? Like, but that was, I watched that shit because I used to live in New York, so I used to go out to buy the Apollo all the time.
But that was in Brooklyn.
I can tell you was in New York. The energy, I loved it. Like, he just took me back for a little bit, 2001, 2. So that's when I lived there from 2001 to 2006, 2007.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those were some great years.
Absolutely. I learned English and everything there. So,
yeah.
But yeah, well, thank you for staying with us. Thank you for watching. And, Kings and Queens Talk Podcast. Tell us what you think about this. You have questions, whatever. We'll put some links over here. The food, I'll put some links over there. You have questions about Africa, about culture, about music, about comedy. If you have a question for him, ask. I'll make sure he gives me the answer, and I'll put it up there in the comment section. So thank you very much for watching, and I appreciate you. Until next time, peace. Yeah.
Toi et moi. Écoute, c'est toi et moi. C'est toi et moi. Et si tu savais, tu saurais que tu ne sais pas. Et si tu savais, tu saurais que tu ne sais pas. Moi je ne sais pas, donc je ne prétends pas que je sais. Attends une seconde, moi c'est Moulah et je me présente d'abord. Toi c'est qui? Ah, écoute. Hey, c'est toi et moi. On est là dans cette chambre, on parle de quoi? Je ne sais pas, mais on parle de quoi? On parle de quoi et on parle de ça, yeah? Yeah, c'est Mr. Moulah. Je suis là et je fais ce que je veux. Y'en a rien à cirer de ce que tu penses. Ce beat il est bon, il est con. Et comme s'il est bon et con, moi je le prends, je le mange. Et puis je le mange, je l'avale et je le digère. Attends une seconde.